Hey, Chargers, in our last video, we worked with this problem up top. Notice that it has a plus 6x and a plus 5, and we learned how to factor that trinomial. In other words, figure out what two binomials you multiplied to get x squared plus 6x plus 5. And now today, we're going to focus on the bottom one. You'll notice the key difference. The key difference here is that you have a minus 6x and a plus 5. And what that does is it's slightly different than the last one we did. That means that the operation in this binomial is a minus and a minus. So we're going to kind of work out how that decision process happens. Our trinomial is x squared minus 6x. That should be a clue that it's a little different, plus 5. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, we are going to try to figure out, all right, what two binomials we're multiplying that gave us x squared minus 6x plus 5. And again, we're going to start here with x squared. Ooh, that's not what I want to do. We want to highlight. We want to, okay, we want to figure out what did we multiply to get x to the second? Well, it must be, right, x times x. That isn't different from the last video. That's the same thing. But here's the second set of clues. The second set of clues are these, okay? We have a positive 5, this is true, but notice we have a negative 6x. And when you see that, it's a very similar process. How did we get, right, 5? Now, again, we go through the same process. This last number here in each binomial has to be the product of 5. And the two factors of 5 are 1 and 5. I don't know any other way of multiplying whole numbers together to get 5. It's 1 and 5 or 5 and 1. So I'm going to put a 5 here. I'm going to put a 1 here. It doesn't matter. You could have 1 and 5, 5 and 1. It won't matter at all. But at this point, we have to decide what operation, right, goes in between our two particular binomials. And so because it's negative 6x, it's got to be, right, negative. It's got to be negative. Why does it have to be negative? Well, if you take a look here, negative 5 times negative 1 gives you positive 5, right? Okay, so that's pretty simple. But what do you have to get a negative 6x in the middle? Well, you're going to have to add negative 5x plus negative x, or at least you're going to have negative 5x minus x. And that's what you get when you multiply this out. X times x is x squared. Negative 5 times, oops, I'm doing the wrong one. And then negative 5 times x is negative 5x, right? And then you've got, oh, I screwed that up. Sorry, Chargers. Let's be consistent. Let's do distributive property. X times x is x squared, right? And x times minus 1 is minus x. Sorry about that. And then we'll go negative 5. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And then negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5. So you can see right here, negative 5x and negative x gives us the negative 6x. So again, Chargers, when you have x squared minus 6x plus 5, you go through a very similar process, but the difference is the operation in between, or the operations in between. And it's got to be minus and minus.